Welcome to the Oval Office. Well, not the Oval Office, but you know. Today, this room is more or less synonymous with the president himself. That wasn't always the case, nor was the Oval Office always so ovally. We'll get to that in just a minute, but first, a little backstory. George Washington never actually lived in the White House. It didn't exist. He instead governed from Philadelphia. By the time his successor, John Adams, was sworn in, Washington, D.C. had been designated as our nation's permanent capital, and construction of the so-called presidential palace was underway. The country was young. Money was kind of tight. So instead of the three-story mansion promised, Adams had two stories. Limited space meant extra bedrooms became government offices, and everyone shared a bathroom. So much for presidential privacy. Now, all that changed in 1901 when Theodore Roosevelt became the man of the House, or should I say the White House, since his executive decision made that name, White House, official. Oh, and did I mention he had 6 kids? Clearly things were a wee bit cramped. The 26th Pres initially set up shop in the storied Lincoln bedroom. Mrs. 26, however, found the arrangement to be, not cool. Teddy agreed and ordered the construction of a 3-story executive office building on the west side of the residence, now known as the West Wing. Lots of rooms, but not one of them oval. All that changed in 1909 when the expansive William Howard Taft became president and decided to, well, expand. Now, at the time, ovular rooms were quite popular, but Taft had another reason for wanting his own kind of curved space, one steeped in history. Simply put, George Washington had one. Apparently, the father of our country, the man who would not be king, still kind of liked the idea of some presidential pomp. What better than a sweeping room with big windows at one end to facilitate the flow of visiting dignitaries who would file in, say what's up, and then move out of their way for the next group of presidential admirers. Good enough for George, good enough for big old Will. 20 years, 5 presidents, and one big fire later, the Oval Office underwent the first of several transformations. The biggest, I suppose, was in 1934, when FDR decided that he deserved a corner office. So he moved the Oval, and voila, more space, more windows, and much more privacy. So there it went, and there it stayed. And not much has drastically changed since then, except maybe the drapes and the color of the walls, and what goes on the walls, which have seen some mighty impressive works of art. And yeah, let's talk about the carpet for a second. Well, Harry S. Truman was the first commander-in-chief to paste across the presidential seal. Eisenhower, Kennedy helped wear down that same carpet. Since then, variations of the same presidential theme have graced the oval floor. Here's a fun fact. First Lady Laura Bush helped design a sort of sunburst version of the carpet for her first mate, Bush 43. Now, our current president, Mr. Obama, liked it so much, he kind of held on to it. That was until George's aides dropped a few hints that he sorta, kinda, really wanted it back. No hard feelings. Now, did I mention the furniture has been changed out a few times too? No surprise, I guess. Who doesn't want to plop down on a chair of their own choosing? On the other hand, desk sharing is allowed. 17 presidents have repurposed 6 different desks. One of the most popular is the Resolute desk, which was given to President Rutherford B. Hayes by Queen Victoria in 1880. When Hayes left office, the desk just kind of went into storage. FDR pulled it out 50 years later, and First Lady Jackie Kennedy had it completely restored in 1960. Since then, the desk has been used by Presidents Carter, Reagan, Clinton, Bush II, and now Barack Obama. One thing that never changed, behind the desk are 2 flags. The United States Stars and Stripes, and the other, the President's flag. Now, Harry S. Truman was the first president to address the nation from the Oval Office. Since then, it's become the preferred sort of solemn setting for speeches on everything from the Cuban Missile Crisis to presidential pardons. Of course, that may change in the age of instant information, though I'm not sure if anyone is ready for a State of the Union tweet. Stay tuned.